was nice. I've never heard those guys before. Anybody else? Is anybody else here? I'm trying to get somebody. But in the meantime, I thought I'd answer the question about star trails going in different directions in the north and the south. Not true. The Earth only rotates one direction. It goes from west. Well, is it west from east? The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Oh yeah, that's the way it goes. Pretty basic, pretty simple. It's all about which direction you're facing on our Earth, which way the star rotations go. They go above you. They're not in front of you, around you, at the bottom. They go out of sight due to perspective. That's why you can't see them down low. And why can't you see the North Star from past the equator? Because you're too far away from it. Just that simple. Just distance. They think that the celestials have a infinite light sort, or not infinite. It's a bad word. Let's see. What's the word I'm looking for? They think it goes on forever, like the light just attenuates just through an empty medium of a vacuum. But then they'll tell you it's not a vacuum, or not quite a vacuum. I don't know if they can make up their mind. I thought I'd pull up a couple of pictures of star trails right quick. Some of them are pretty neat. Depends on what kind of camera lens you take it with. What your angle is, your elevation. I've seen them from up top where they lay flat as a. Depends on how high the elevation is. This is one here. It goes around the center point here. This looks like the north to me, from what I can tell. And I've clicked on a lot of these logs and blogs they got on these things, and you don't really get much out of it. Most of them aren't even there anymore, and these are way exaggerated for light, especially the color spectrum. And I'm pretty sure that's over an entire 24-hour period. So they don't really move that far. They'll get back around again, back to where they were next year. They don't all move in sequence, neither. And by the way, perspective plays a big role in what you see in the sky. Now that's ridiculous. They added a lot of crap to that, didn't they? That's Singapore. Supposedly that star trail's going around Singapore like that. Looks very computer animated to me. Probably a better place to shoot that star trail from that mountaintop. It'll level out. But yeah, the star trails don't go opposite directions in north and south on a spinning ball. The star trails move in the sky above your head. And when you go further out, just like anything else, dissipates into the distance. There's less impedance higher up you go. Clear uh, vision the higher you're looking. Yeah. So your Star Trail analogy is stupid. Don't work like that. You didn't pop out the bottom antipodal from each other. The horizontal between here and this so-called South Pole is horizontal, flat. Doesn't curve away. Just doesn't do it. I thought I just fill Brenda in. I didn't have to present anything. I could just logically give you an inference. It works. They go east to west, just like the sun and the moon, both directions. Even in their model. It's kind of strange, isn't it? I know. When the sun starts changing direction, sets in the What direction does the sun rise? Rises in the east, sets in the west. Is that right? When it starts doing the opposite, I'll let you know. And it does make an arc above the dome. That's just a statement of my belief, the dome part. But sky, dome, one and the same thing. But these star trails are pretty as fuck, aren't they? I know. I think it is. And I'd like you to come demonstrate it on your little globe model. Show me how it would appear to if you're looking in the same direction. You're staring directly north and you go south. Keep staring north. The sun doesn't change direction. The moon doesn't change direction. Now you turn around and look the other direction. It does. You're facing south, but you're still going east to west. That is the point, and they like to confuse people with that. I think it's kind of strange. I don't know why you'd have to do that. And I'm not saying don't look at the heavens to determine the ground. It has nothing to do with it. I'm just putting a hole in their model. Don't have to. It really kind of does it on its own. Did I share any of that? Here. Let's try this one. Isn't that pretty? Man, that's definitely the north for sure. And everything meets at the horizon. The sky does. But there's a gap there. The closer you get, it's still there. It's always going to be there because the atmosphere's or the atmosphere is really thick at the lower uh, areas. That way, it kind of blocks out light, makes more of a diffraction, kind of slows down. Starlight's not that bright to begin with because they're further away than the sun. Obviously, you can tell just by looking at them. But they're not trillions of light years away. It didn't die a billion years ago in some galaxy dying before you saw the light 10,000 years later, or however they estimate time. That's a fairy tale. That was beautiful. Back on topic, I want to play another song added to this repertoire. If anybody's here yet, I don't know if anybody showed up yet. No idea. Anybody in the chat? Ooh, there you go. Mr. Gashead, how you doing, Jeff? Do you understand east to west, right? I hope you do. For some reason, Brenda doesn't seem to get a grasp on cardinal directions, or let alone how compasses actually work. She came on Vlad's and pissed me off. Not on Vlad's, it was Mikey's. They were like, it was shown proof, and between the drunken debunker and Brenda Creates, they made a farce out of the whole damn show. I actually called him a bitch. I apologize. I didn't mean to overreact, but I was at work. I thought I'd join in. Hey, Dan. How you doing? And it was fun. Been a long day though. I worked 9 hours, babysitted the kids for 3 hours, did Flatch's show, and went on Mikey's channel for a little while. Had a blast. And now I'm doing a stream just to kind of rebuttal to ball claims. You like the little slideshow? I like it. I don't show anything though, but the direction's still the same. It's weird. I don't think they get it. I think I'll play a song right quick. Uh, Give me kind of an interlude. I want to do a little review of a modern day debate between Craig and the can't remember that guy's name. Let's see if I can find it. I'll give you a little taste of it. I didn't pull it down. I know I didn't throw it away. I may have shut the window. Looks like it. but I don't know how to operate a computer neither. I'm going to play this little Mastodon song. Probably hope to get in a strike or something. Nah, they won't strike me. And I'll go find the debate I was looking at earlier. Craig is a kind of a decent guy. He thinks he is. I think he's pretty much on the wrong side of it all. Those gentlemen must have met critical think because fools play with broken grams. That line stuck with me. Mr. Anus, you've made a lot of videos, haven't you? I noticed you've been busy, sir. I say some of those Star Trails. I'm going to use them for thumbnails. They're kind of cool. Like this guy right here. I'll show it to you. Maybe you should aim for time lapse. Pinterest let me have it. Let's view the image. Let's see. Ooh, bam. Like a rainbow in the sky. They still go east to west from the center point. I like it. So you guys had a busy night? It's Friday, you know. I can't find the Cookie Monster anywhere. He's nowhere to be found. But I did caught a piece of this debate that I didn't watch on Flats's, or this was some other different debate that he did with this guy. Probably a part we didn't watch. I was going to review a little bit of it, but this goes over transitioning children, like the surgeries and stuff. I know it's probably a little controversial, but Craig doesn't actually think it's right himself, too. But he still stands up for the humanist position on it. Like, even if we do harm people, it's okay. We'll learn from our mistakes. But let's go make mistakes. You know, like, that's brilliant. Wisdom at its finest. Yeah. So I thought I'd play a little bit of it for you to give you a taste of it. I listened to about half of this part of it. It's definitely different. But Craig gets a nice taste of his own medicine. That's what I like about this debate.
Well, right now I think I'm a humanist. Am I?
Do you think that...
Am I a humanist right now, Craig? Because I made humanist prescriptions.
Do you think you're a humanist?
Yes.
Okay, then you can be... No, there's nothing.
No.
You can be a Christian. You can be a... refer to Magic Sky Daddy as the absolute normative authority. It's ridiculous.
Instead of our Earth Daddy?
Right,
Instead of your Earth Daddy?
This is how
knowledge of the world is derived by observation, experiment, and rational analysis. If the prescription they come up with is the birth rate is low, therefore all women must be forcibly bred, why are they wrong? I'm not making that the critique.
But you just did, though, Andrew.
No,
you made that
no.
critique in
The
front of all these people. Why are you lying? You made that critique.
Okay, then Craig, I just have a simple question for you. When it comes to child transition surgery, right, we have a split on whether or not that's harmful. Who should I side with?
Who should I side with?
The position of that
Yep,
is
you're right.
something that I wouldn't want to get into because... am I allowed to get my thoughts out?
What about harm?
Yeah.
My harm!
I bet it was.
I didn't
Jim.
say I wasn't going to. I would say it's something I wouldn't want to. But again, I'm not allowed to get my words out here. Right. So as a collective society, we would get together and see what happens. And that is going through changes at the moment. Personally, I don't agree with that, right? And the current position within secular humanists seems to be that allowing children to transition is something that causes harm. Right? And that is the position that I personally hold when I look at the evidence, and what other secular humanists are saying is that allowing children to transition causes harm because children are not at a place where they are able to make that decision. Their brain is not fully developed, and especially people with, if we look at neurodivergence, neurodivergents actually have a much higher percentage of wanting to transition and things like that, and that could be an effect of them being neurodivergent. So we have to look at individual cases, but personally, children in transition, because they are not ready to make that decision, their brains aren't fully developed until they're like the age of 25. So letting children do that before they have the...
25. I don't think so. I think my brain was developed by the time I was probably about 20, cognitive enough to make decisions and determine right from wrong. Craig, you're a little slow, dude.
ability to is in itself causing harm.
So then what's going on here, just so you understand, I just demonstrated something very important to you. You said we know what harm is.
Yes.
Our collective experience demonstrates what harm is. Then I ask you a simple question. There's two different collections of people right now. One who believes that this is very harmful, and one, like you, who believes it's not very harmful.
And which one of those are secular humanists?
Which one of those, well, humanists themselves disagree. Matt Dillahunty, who's a humanist, for instance, is right as we speak, probably
sucking lady balls, right? Like that's
Right.
that's actually true. So
Matt
if they- hang on,
Dillahunty
hang on,
isn't here.
stop.
Matt
Hey,
Dillahunty
stop,
isn't
stop,
here, though.
stop, bro. It's my turn,
yeah.
bro. My turn. Calm down.
I'm
Calm
not
down,
Matt
bro.
Dillahunty.
Calm down. It's my
I'm
turn.
not Matt Dillahunty,
Calm down.
right?
I didn't say you were.
All right, I'm not going to run away from a debate.
I didn't
because
say you
make some
were. I didn't
insulting
tell you to
things,
run.
okay?
I didn't tell you anything. Calm down.
Right.
So anyway, back to where we were. What I'm saying is, he's a humanist. You're a humanist. Clearly, you fucking disagree about this.
Does Matt,
So-
does-
stop,
does
stop,
he-
stop,
Matt
stop, bro.
just ask a quick question.
Would
Does
you-
he say specifically
Craig,
that he thinks children
Craig,
should transition?
Craig, calm down.
I'm just asking a question.
Craig,
Is that
calm down.
what he says?
Yes, but anyway, calm down.
I don't think that's what Matt says.
Humanists themselves, okay? Humanists themselves disagree.
Which
They
ones?
Stop, bro. Would you chill out for 2 seconds? They themselves disagree on even what a man is. They disagree on the prescriptions for children.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do, and they disagree about all of these things within the very same framework you're talking about. The thing is like that's fine. You can grant that humanists can disagree. As the peanut gallery was telling you, you can make the same criticism about the Bible. Theologically, people disagree all the time. Totally fair argument. What's not a fair argument is for you to say that it's logically impossible for us to redetermine what harm is under humanism. Of course we can redetermine what harm is under humanism. Why couldn't we? Why?
Because their collective experiences as humanity show us what harm is. And if we look at what has happened in the past with humanity, and we try to change it to go back to when it was harm, that would go against what secular humanism is. But to be clear,
I'm going to ask you a question.
Just lumping.
Did that make any sense to anybody out there at all? If we don't go back and figure out what we went wrong, how is that against humanity? I don't get it. I'm trying to struggle with that last statement. It just didn't make any sense to me. I think if we don't learn from our mistakes, we're going to keep doing the same stupid shit we have been doing forever. That make any sense? I think it makes tons of sense. But Craig is
All kind of LGBTQ stuff as secular humanists. That's not just secular humanists that hold those positions. So you can be someone
No,
that
that was
is
just a demonstration.
LGBTQ and not be a secular
Yeah, no,
humanist.
I was
let's not
demonstrating
mix
something,
those two
not
up,
making
okay?
it about LGBTQ. I'm demonstrating that within this worldview, there's disagreement within it. That's fine, right? I'm not making that as a criticism.
But just to be clear, that's not a secular humanist view, though. That's just a human view.
Craig, I'm not making that the critique.
Wow.
But you just did, though, Andrew.
No,
you made that
no.
critique in
The
front of all
critique-
these people.
the
Why are you
critique-
lying?
the
You made that critique,
that
and
I
then
made was about harm, the principle of harm. I'm giving you an analogy to the principle of harm and saying, even if you say it's logically impossible for us to change what harm is based on collective human experience, that can't be true because even we all right now share experiences and disagree about what is harmful based on those experiences. When you say that that's logically impossible, I need that actually demonstrated, Craig. That's what I'm saying to you.
humanity demonstrates that, Andrew.
How?
Because of what has happened to humanity throughout history, right? That is what lets us decide what is harm. Let's look at the last 200 years and the amount of harm that has happened, the amount of wars that have happened, the amount of bad things that have happened. We can look back at the past 200 years and go, well, what about that has caused harm? And then we can look to the future to say, well, how can we stop that happening? And if we look at the suffering and the unhappiness and the death and destruction that has come from all the bad things, that a lot of it is because of holy wars and fighting over whatever my particular God says, and we can say, well, how can we make the harm from that not happen? And all we have to do is look at what has happened throughout history and how that affects humanity
this is a great
to get
example,
to the
Craig.
decision.
So let's take a look here. When you say war is very harmful, right? At the same time, you also say population reduction is actually probably pretty good.
I didn't say population reduction. Let's be
okay.
clear. I said
Low
a lower
population.
birth. I said a slightly lower birth rate is not a bad thing.
Slightly
a slightly lower birth rate.
Well, what is it? That's a reduction, right? Maybe slightly lower, though. But eventually they'll get to the same point. They'll stop you from breeding slowly, and then eventually just kill you off. Beautiful, isn't it?
Still increases
The
population.
birth rate is going to go down if more men are dead, right, Craig?
Yeah, because war's
Okay,
bad.
great. So since we've established that, if I say I think that actually these wars cause less harm to society because, well, it got the population down, and that actually is good for us long term. I have now made an argument for how I've reduced harm. Craig, if you disagree with that harm principle, right? We both disagree
That's
with
not
it.
what I
Would
said,
you
though.
chill out for a second? If we both disagree with that harm principle, right?
That's a two.
Our collective experiences can come to wildly different conclusions. if that's the case, I need you to have something
True, Danny.
I can default to look at, which would descriptively tell me why it is my harm principle or what I consider harm to be is wrong.
Right.
I have this thing called the Bible and church authority. You have a Humanist Manifesto to answer those kinds of questions. Where in the Humanist Manifesto can I find out that if I want to, I don't know, lock all the women up and breed them, that's actually morally wrong?
Okay.
Craig, where?
Yeah, Schneider, you're right, dude.
You are misunderstanding what the
Holy
manifesto
crap.
is for. The manifesto is a guideline. And then based on that guideline, people will get together and make decisions. Nobody is going to make a single decision that everybody then follows, like in your screwed up version of the world, where you can refer to a magic sky daddy as the absolute normative authority. It's ridiculous.
Instead of our Earth Daddy?
Right,
Instead of your Earth Daddy?
You notice how I let you talk?
Oh, I can't believe God did
Yeah,
that.
you
I
know-
can't
you
believe
notice
you
how I
did
let you
that.
talk,
It's the
Andrew.
same- it's
You
the
notice
same
how I let
thing.
you talk?
Go ahead,
Right.
bro. Go ahead.
So once again, we don't need a normative authority. We don't need a one set of particular rules. What we need is a framework that we can get together and discuss to assess what is going to happen. We don't need a one particular person or one person's interpretation or one divine commandment to follow. We
Don't need a normative authority?
No, we don't. Why would we?
So why would you have a standard at all? I mean, it kind of like anything goes, doesn't it? I know. And it, majority rules, mob rule, that's what he wants, isn't it? Yeah. Dumb.
Well, I don't understand. When you have a collective of people who decide based on your manifesto and they're interpreting it to give you prescriptions, what do you call that?
Not a normative authority because it. Wait.
What is it?
It's not.
What is it?
It is a framework that you would get together and discuss.
No, not the framework. I'm not saying that the framework is your normative authority. Like you said, that's a framework.
Yeah,
All
and
the
that's what
people,
gives us the
all
guidelines
the
for the
people who
framework.
get together to decide the prescriptions based on the framework would be referred to as a
No.
The people-
normative.
No, that normative authority is a single thing, right? Not a collection of people.
Do you
getting
know what a
together and making
normative
decisions.
authority even is, Craig?
Give me your definition of it. Then.
No, Craig, I'm not going to give you your definition for normative authority. What is it?
It's a single prescription for something coming from a particular set of rules.
Oh, that's basically their
Look it up
book, right?
Real
Yeah.
quick, Craig.
Oh, tell me if
I'm
I'm
going
wrong.
to stop. I'll stop.
Right, tell me if I'm wrong.
Pull up normative authority.
Right. Tell me if I'm wrong.
So normative, philosophically, right? It's like an ought claim, right? What we ought to do.
Yeah.
If you have a normative authority, what is that doing? It's an authority
I
expressing
haven't got this
what
far
we
yet.
Should be
It's
doing.
getting good.
So in the church, right, we would be referring to our ecclesiastical authority as our normative authority, meaning here's our framework, here's our church framework. This is our normative authority telling us what we ought to do. Same thing with the Bible, a normative authority telling us what we ought to do. If you have a bunch of people who get together and they make prescriptions based off of this manifesto that you're supposed to follow,
Oh,
those
Bible.
would be called
No.
what?
Okay. Right.
What would they be called, Craig?
I can see I'm wrong.
What would
norma-
okay.
Right.
Got it.
Okay.
So hang on.
Right,
And by the way,
just
I am actually proud of him right there. He conceded he's wrong. And you can see the humility on his face there for a second. Now, that'll change. I can almost bet on it.
that's the first time ever. Congratulations, Craig.
I want to be clear.
Congratulations, Craig.
I want to be clear. Right, this is only ever my second debate within this field, and I might not be completely up to date on all the vernacular and everything. So if I get certain words wrong and stuff, hey, I'm going to hold my hand up because
And I'm not
going to
hold
learn
it. I'm not going to hold that against you, dude.
Right.
I'm not going to hold it against you. Go ahead.
The point I'm trying to make is instead of going to like a single position like the God says, right? Instead, what we do is we get together and we decide collectively based on what we feel is better to stop the harm. Okay, and
That's a normative authority.
okay, right. I can see that I was wrong on that point. Absolutely,
Yeah.
that is a normative
So my
authority,
whole point
right?
here isn't to beat you up about being wrong in a debate. I'm wrong
No.
in debates all the time,
Yeah.
just not in this one. What
how
I'm
we
saying,
learn, right?
what I'm saying to you, what I'm saying to you here, Craig, is just this.
That was funny.
If you have to have a normative authority, people who get together who make prescriptions, right? What they're doing is they're using your framework. So in Christianity, we would do the same thing. We're going to use the framework of the Bible, the teachings of Jesus Christ, and then we're going to have a normative authority, an ecclesiastical structure, which helps interpret that framework so that we know what we should or shouldn't do. Now, this is the same exact thing you're doing. But the thing is I can use the framework, which is the Bible, to debunk the prescriptions that I've made against the manifesto.
You can't do that with your manifesto. That's my point.
Right. Again, you're using the manifesto wrong.
Okay.
And I've
okay.
explained why, and I do feel like we're just going round in circles.
No, this is actually important.
Right.
I would
Can
like to
I-
actually
let me-
know
can
how
I-
I'm using it wrong. Go ahead.
I'm trying to, because
Okay.
again, it's not a set of rules like the Bible.
I gotta say though, their sound man had to suck. They didn't wire those mics up right. They got way too much echo. They could have did a little better job. Turned down the gain just a wee bit. Cut out. Trying to think of it. Take it down on the reverb side just a tad, but you're getting a lot of feedback. But other than that, that look on Craig's face right there, he's like, please don't beat me up. That's all I'm getting out of it. He's in up to his neck in it. But I'm glad he's getting his feet wet. But I still think they should all should go flat. Throw away the Greek mythology. It would help.
Right? Like it's that's not set out the same way. It's not saying this is exactly what you need to do.
Right.
Right? It is something that we will get together as a collective and say, right, and this is how we think will make a better society.
Mm-hmm.
And if something in society happens and we need to adjust that, we can adapt as society evolves. But the overall point of it is to reduce harm and increase flourishing. And you can't do that if you're doing something that is causing unhappiness, causing unhealthiness, causing injury, and feelings of.
Like what? What does Christianity cause? I don't think that's the point. I think Christianity had to defend itself over the years, but I don't think we're the cause of any harm. Matter of fact, they've been trying to kill it off since Christ. So this is a weak argument humanists have. They want to obliterate the basic the basic 10 rules that we've lived by for so long, so that they feel like they can justly take vengeance on somebody, and then we had to cause harm, and we can push agendas and cause harm, but we're doing it. We're learning and evolving, which is a bunch of bullshit. You don't need to evolve to know what causes harm. Just that simple, my opinion.
Of not being happy. That is against what the secular humanist.
So this makes
manifesto
sense.
goes,
So
right?
what you're saying, and I'm just going to steel man again to make sure I'm not getting it wrong. I don't want you to say I'm straw manning you. What you're saying is that this framework, which is Humanist 3, the manifesto, this is a framework which is not giving prescriptions, but rather it's a framework which is used by a collective body to give prescriptions, right?
I wouldn't say prescriptions, more.
What you ought to do?
No.
No.
What is better for helping society?
Well, should we do what's better?
It doesn't try to give rules. It doesn't try to say this is exactly what you should do.
I'm not saying it does.
Right. It just says if you want to have a healthier society, then this is the way to do it.
So it's being interpreted, right?
By a collective, yes.
Okay, got it.
Right.
So if a collective of Christians interpret this to say, under 1 here, that knowledge of the world is derived by observation, experiment, and rational analysis, if the prescription they come up with is the birth rate is low, therefore all women must be forcibly bred, why are they wrong?
Because they would have to show why birth rate is a bad thing lower birth rate is a bad thing for humanity.
Why would they have to show that? There's nothing in the manifesto, the guiding stone from which they're making their prescriptions, that says that in any way contradicts with the framework itself.
Well, what we would do in that case, again, as humanists, we would get together and we would say, is this going to cause harm? Then yes.
They get together a lot, don't they? But I don't see anybody getting together. I see a bunch of political lines drawn in their same dogma too. So it's just another excuse. That's my opinion there again.
Well, then we won't do that.
Yeah, I know. So what if they got together and said, actually, I think that this will lower harm?
What if God said lock people up?
Yeah, no, but what if they said...
Yeah, but what if God said it was okay to do it?
What if he did? So anyway,
so would
the
you,
prescription...
right, so let's ask, because
You're just moving the goalposts.
Yeah, that's fine, but all you've done so far is ask me questions about mine, right? So I'm going to ask you questions about yours. What if God said it was okay to lock women
What
up?
if he did? Let's just say Christianity is a complete lie, all of it's nonsense.
I'll show you yours if you show me mine. Yours, blah, blah, blah. Mine's bigger than yours.
All of it's BS. We're talking about the effects
So
of
you're,
society.
So you're trying to get rid. Yeah. Okay. So if how would Christianity deal with this then? If we said, okay, it's a lower birth rate, let's lock people up and experiment on them to make higher birth rates. What would Christianity say about
Our
that?
ecclesiastical authority would say you're not allowed to do that.
Which one?
Well, in fact, here's how I would define Christian, if you want to make it easy. It's people who believe in the Nicene Creed, people who accept the Nicene Creed. All people who accept the Nicene Creed would now fit on the category of Christians. All of them would have the same moral framework, which would say that this
And
is
which
immoral.
moral framework specifically, cite me the specific thing that says you can't lock women up and experiment on them to stop a lower birth rate.
You mean the Ten Commandments?
Yeah, where is that?
You want me to pull up the Ten Commandments for you?
Then go to the other 260 rules as well.
You mean Noahide laws?
Well, they're part of Christianity, right?
No, not Noahide laws.
Well, some Christians would disagree with you.
Not the ones who believe in the Nicene Creed.
Well, okay, so you are saying that Christians that don't believe in the Nicene Creed aren't Christians.
Yes.
Well,
Greg,
again,
yes.
they think they're Christians.
That's what
though.
I'm saying.
But
yes.
here's the thing: they think they're Christians.
Well, right now I think I'm a humanist. Am I?
Do you think that?
Am I a
no,
humanist
yeah.
right now, Craig? Because I made humanist prescriptions.
Do you think you're a humanist?
Yes.
Okay, then you can be. No, there's nothing.
No.
You can be a Christian. You can be a Christian and be a humanist. There's nothing wrong with that. You can be a Christian and be a humanist.
Okay.
Right.
Then my prescriptions are
but-
humanist prescriptions.
But if you could be a humanist, a Christian, and be a humanist, because humanism lets you have freedom of religion. But what you're saying right now is, I'm deciding what Christian is, but you don't get to decide what Christianity is because other Christians would disagree with you. And to be clear, you are here to defend all of Christianity, not just.
No, I'm
what-
not here to defend Christianity at all. I'm here to,
Well,
to defend the
actually you
effects
are.
of it on
Yeah,
society.
Yeah, what you're trying to do is why Christianity is better for society.
Yeah.
So that means you have to
It
go
do-
for
do-
all.
would it matter- Craig-
Hold on, let me finish
Okay,
my point,
go ahead.
please.
Go
That
ahead.
means that you have to defend all of Christianity, not just the Christianity that you think is Christianity. Because there's a lot of Christians that disagree with your definition of Christianity. But that doesn't matter. As a Christian, you still you are here to defend every version of Christianity. That includes the Christianity of Ethiopia that hold the ancient texts that you don't believe in, because they still call themselves Christians.
They're still better for society than humanists. Like, what are you talking? All I'm here to do is to defend
Right.
whether or
So,
not.
right.
To Craig, my turn, Craig. All I'm here to do is to defend the effects on society of Christianity versus humanism.
Right,
I'm
so let's look
arguing.
at that.
Stop. I'm arguing that there is no real effect from humanism on society because it has this intrinsic problem. The problem
Doing
is
no harm.
No.
I
it's
went
not.
I went through it in my
Craig,
intro, right?
Craig, chill
but let's
out.
look at
Craig,
Christianity.
chill out, Craig.
Andrew, right?
I
you
just
have,
let
all
you
you've
talk,
done,
Craig.
Andrew, all you've done so far
Craig,
is
chill
attack.
out,
One
Craig.
second, 1 second. I want to go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you. So what I'm saying to you, Craig, is that because you suffer from this problem of
James actually speaks. Holy crap. Whew. Wow.
your framework, right, has to be interpreted by your authority, which is the same exact criticism you're levying against Christianity, by the way. You say it's logically impossible for the definition of harm to change because collectively we're just not going to change it.
Well, no, I
Right?
said it's
Hang on,
impossible.
hang
I said
on.
it's impossible
Craig,
to change to your
Give
definition
me
of harm.
give me 10 seconds.
Well, if you
Calm
strawman me,
down.
I need to just let you know that,
Calm
that
down.
that's not what I said. That's
Okay,
all.
okay,
Right.
calm down. You get a
So
chance.
I didn't say that.
Okay,
so
you
just to be
get a
clear.
chance, Craig. Calm
I'll
down.
give you a chance to wrap up, Andrew, and then we'll kick it back to Craig.
Yeah. So anyway, the point here is that when I look at society, I don't see any effects from humanism. I see a lot of effects from Christianity, and a lot of them are
Bad
really,
ones.
really, really positive. Your humanist effects don't even exist because all you're saying is this: we use this like manifesto, this loose document of ideas that anybody, including a Christian humanist, can come up with the prescription that we're going to lock women up and forcibly breed them, and you can't actually use your framework to tell them why that's wrong. You have to appeal to something outside of it. In this case, I don't know, loose libertarian print. Like I don't know what principles you're even adhering to outside of it that
Let's
make
kick
you
it-
a humanist
Let's
now.
kick it back to Craig.
So individual autonomy prioritizes human welfare. There is nothing about human welfare that says locking women up and experimenting on them is good.
There's nothing that doesn't.
Well, there is, because it's human. It's that is against ethics and justice. It's not. It's not.
Where? Show me where it says
you have, It advocates for human rights, and humans have rights. To
Yeah,
not
what does
have
that mean,
done.
though? It's nowhere in your document.
Again, these are things that you can, from the Humanist Manifesto, gather. And
No, you
humanists get
can't.
together
I
and
have it
agree
in
with
front
that,
of me. I
right?
interpreted it totally different.
But then you don't get to individually decide what that is, though.
Why not?
Because that you're not a collective. You're a person, Andrew.
So-
right?
so-
let's look at the. Let's look at.
That was hard to watch. I'm sorry I put you through that, guys. But Craig is he's a nice guy. He's not in the debates properly, but I don't think a Humanist Manifesto has like any kind of authority. It's just like, hey guys, let's get together, let's have some coffee and discuss what the problems are, and has no real guidelines for rules. It has a lot of room for mistakes. It's not even. It's a pussy religion. Let's put it that way. We say, Juno, you went over and killed your neighbor tonight, but you thought he was going to kill you, and you felt that he was a threat to you because he had a different way of interpreting a book. And you convinced the peers that he was going to do so. You could see enough paranoia in people as a humanist to say he's like Adolf Hitler, and you can justify somebody's murder like that. It's just nuts. It's like an open book to becoming immoral to say in the long run. But we'll paint it like we're going to make humanity better, and we're going to basically throw in some amoral standards that you stole from all the religions in the world. And we'll all be better for it. No. Well, that was interesting. I think we should play some Jim Anus's videos. What do you say? I'm down for it. Man's been busy for the last couple of days. Just to get off topic, that was kind of dry, but I'm going to actually read the Humanist Manifesto myself. See what it actually says. And how do I find Jim Anus? Where is he at, on YouTube somewhere? I think he might be. I think I know a better place to find him. I have saved some of his stuff. Let's go with Funkin'. No, I think I already played that, didn't I? Maybe not. I think I did. Let's go with Alan Norstrand Stride. The Stride of Alan Norstrand, or Alan Stride of Norstrand. Got a weird way of wording stuff, Jim. It's Jupiter. Awesome. I got to catch up with Jim. He does too much stuff, I'm telling you. He's going to let it play. Dojo's got a cool moon, doesn't he? Man, what's next on the list here? I downloaded a whole bunch of them, so we can just go straight transition to the others. Choice A.
Someone told me not to take a chance on love. Someone told me not to wait. It slumbers but true as the sun shines warm on my face. You hold my heart in place. Press the warm against your neck and breathing you. When your hands caress my back, I sway with you. True as the sun shines warm on my face. You hold my heart in place. Shines warm on my face, and true as the sun shines warm on my face, and you hold my heart in place.
Jim, you're a talented young man. I'm telling you. How about those fake nukes? I don't know. I haven't ever seen a real one. You gonna take a moment? I want to know. This AI here, this reading music, the Google thing, it said chew instead of true like twice. So sense and set could be really mixed up pretty easy, couldn't it? I don't think that they're going to say any much more about it. I think Jaren said and set. That's my opinion. Had to throw that in there. I know. Let's see. What's next on this one? A moon? Let's see. Did we do Phuket's Star yet? I think we should play that one next. Shout out to Nick. If you haven't subscribed to Phuket Word, he's a good watch. I like him. getting there, Jim. We're getting there. We're gonna do all yours. Everything you made recently. You gotta play with the ball, see? Speed. We got it, Jim. It's a little folky, my lad. Little folky. was nice, Jim. Very well done. Now we already seen this one. Let's see. Yep, seen this one. Go down the line. Saw this one. I don't think we've seen this one yet, though. He's Saturn's mind. Come on. Did I miss something? Nope. We went from Saturn to Jupiter. Oh. I think I ran out of videos. We're in the flat water. Somewhere in the Great Southern Barrier. Around the ice wall. True distance around Antarctica. Wonder where they got this from.
The English Antarctic Expedition. The English Antarctic expedition was undertaken in 1839 to 1843, mainly with a view to magnetic observations and the determination of the position of the South Magnetic Pole. 2 old bomb vessels, the Erebus and Terror, were fitted out under the command of Captain, afterwards Sir James Ross, with Captain Crozier in the Terror.
Real
Cruise
people.
for the second season was commenced from Tasmania, south of Australia between 42 and 45 degrees south latitude, in November 1840. The Auckland Islands and Campbell Islands were first visited and surveyed, and on New Year's Day, 1841, the Antarctic Circle was crossed in about 72 degrees easting. A few days afterwards, the 2 vessels were beset in the pack ice and began persevering and boring
Wow.
through it. By January 10th, they succeeded
Amazing.
and were clear of ice in 70 degrees, 23 minutes south. And next day, land was sighted, rising in lofty peaks and covered with perennial snow.
Wow.
That day, Ross passed the highest latitude reached by Cook in 1773 at 71 degrees, 15 minutes south. On a nearer approach to the land, there was a clear view to the chain of mountains, with peaks
I have
rising to 10,000
3 more
feet
gems I want to play.
and glaciers filling the intervening valleys and projecting into the sea. The land interposed an insuperable obstacle to any nearer approach to it. Captain Ross landed with great difficulty, owing to the strong tide and drifting ice, on a small island near the shore named Possession Island, in 71 degrees 56 minutes south, and 171 degrees 7 minutes east. Inconceivable myriads of penguins covered the surface, but no vegetation was seen. Next morning there was a southerly gale which moderated, and on the 18th of January they were again sailing south in an unexplored sea. No mention is anywhere made of extreme long days to correspond with co-equal latitudes of the north, as there necessarily should be were the Earth a globe. On the 23rd day they were in 74 degrees 20 minutes south, and thus passed the most southern latitude reached by Captain Weddell in 1823. Sailing along the newly discovered coast, Captain Ross
And one more thing, I didn't hear any mention of a midnight sun or not a midnight sun in this progress at all. I'm pretty sure they documented it quite well. It probably just happens during that solstice day, if there's anything close to it.
landed after much difficulty on an island named after Sir John Franklin in 76 degrees 8 minutes south.
I think you get the gist of what the flat water's trying to say here.
Page 328 is
It ain't a
Earth and
globe.
Chapter 15. On the 27th, they came in sight of a mountain 12,400 feet above the level of the sea, which proved to be an active volcano, emitting flame and smoke in great profusion. It was named Mount Erebus, and an extinct volcano to the eastward, 10,900 feet high, was named Mount Terror. Along the coast, as far as the eye could reach to the eastward, there was a perpendicular cliff of ice from 150 to 200 feet high, perfectly level at the top and without any fissures or promontories on its seaward face. Nothing could be seen above it except the summits of a lofty range of mountains extending southward as far as 79 degrees south. To this range the name of Parry was given. Captain Ross then sailed along the marvelous wall of ice eastward in 77 degrees 47 minutes south, as far as 78 degrees south.
When they say minutes, they
This
mean arc
barrier
minutes.
was estimated to be 1,000 feet thick, and it was followed for 450 miles without a break.
Wow.
The whole of the great southern land discovered by Sir James Ross was named Victoria Land. Imagine, if you can, the amount of centripetal force there must be concentrated to the center of a globe or sphere to hold these mighty walls of ice and mountains of frozen material in place. Is not the statements of the prophet Job easily reconciled with the above? Hast thou perceived the breadth of the earth? Declare if thou knowest it all. Job 38:18. The waters are hid as with a stone, and the face of the deep is frozen. 30th verse of Job 26:10. He hath compassed the waters with bounds until day and night come to an end. In November 1841, the Erebus and Terror again shaped a southerly course, entered the pack ice on December 18th, summer, and once more crossed the Antarctic Circle on New Year's Day. The navigation through a belt of ice 800 miles broad was extremely perilous. At length, on the 1st of February 1842, a clear sea was in sight, and they proceeded to the southward in 174 degrees 31 minutes west. On the 22nd, they were surrounded with lofty icebergs aground, and at midnight the great ice barrier was sighted and its examination recommenced in 77 degrees 49 minutes south. Next day, the expedition obtained a latitude of 78 degrees 10 minutes south, by far the highest ever reached before or since. After escaping imminent dangers and navigating through chains of huge icebergs, Captain Ross took his ship northward and wintered at the Falkland Islands. Third expedition. In December 1842, the expedition sailed from Port Louis on the third visit to South Polar region, seeing the first iceberg in 61 degrees south. On the 28th, the ship sighted the land named after the Prince de Joinville by Dumont d'Urville, and the south side of the South Shetlands was surveyed. During February, about 160 miles of the edge of the packs were examined. On March 11th, the Antarctic Circle was recrossed for the last time, and the expedition returned to England in September 1843. Thus, after 4 years' most diligent work, ably conducted and quite unparalleled voyage to the South Polar regions came to an end. Quote, 2 islands named Heard and McDonald were also visited on this wise, November 1853, by Captain Heard of the American ship Oriental. In February, they were driven southward by a gale of wind, and the first iceberg was discovered on the 12th in 60 degrees 52 minutes south. It was 200 feet high and about 700 feet long. On the 19th, the ship was at a dense pack of ice in 65 degrees 42 minutes south, and on the 4th of March they bore up to Australia. Several deep soundings were taken, the greatest depth being 1,975 fathoms, corresponding to about 3 miles. The route of the Challenger was much the same as that of the Pagoda in 1845, but more to the north. With it ends the somewhat meager record of voyages across and towards the Antarctic Circle. CRM, Encyclopedia Britannica, Volume 19, page 330. Antarctic Exploration. We understand by authentic statistics that the expedition of the Challenger and the reports of her crews cost the nation the extravagant sum of over $1 million.
That's a lot of money back
This, the
then.
necessary result of which that government regards with cautious proposal as to any further scientific advances for any similar expedition. And it, we believe, expressed its discouragement of the proposed Antarctic expedition in connection with the Australian government. The Challenger did not openly admit that it had searched for the South Pole in vain. Oh no, but it sailed 3 times around the world, or upwards of 60,000 miles, without being able to say that it had been fortunate enough to ascertain the existence of any such wonderful locality. Of course, it may have gone on searching as long as its timbers or platings held together, and the same disappointment must have attended its efforts. Right here, a thought or two may be suggested to the reader. Were the Earth a globe or spheroid, inside of the Antarctic Circle, the degrees of longitude could not exceed 30 miles to the degree. But if we allow them 30 miles for adversities of winds, currents, ice, etc., and multiply 360 degrees by 60, we have 21,600, in order to make a circuit of 10,800, claimed by all globularists. Yet we can afford to be more liberal. We will call the multiplicator 120, and the product in miles will only reach 43,200, a little over 2/3 of their nautical record as above, and most of this inside the Antarctic Circle. But after a circuitous cruise like the above record, and a fruitless expenditure of over $1 million, it seems quite natural for them to feel somewhat crestfallen in regard to their previous importunateness with the government. Although the record does not state that they were in search of a South Pole, but a magnetic pole. Yes, and where did they expect to find it, if they found any such thing? And what did they expect to call it when found? A suggestion here will do no harm if it does no good. We charge nothing for our advice when it is not followed. The aforesaid expedition could have made just as great a failure with less money. $200,000 or $300,000 expended in sending one expedition southwest of Melbourne and a second southeast. They would end themselves at a distance of 1,000 miles or so, the same as a rat in a barrel, and still find themselves as far from their magnetic pole as the north is from the south, the east from the west, or the kingdom of heaven is from the earth. But in the words of another, we would say, to be looking for a South Pole at the end of the 19th century just because some pagan astrologers conceived the idea of a planet Earth some 2,000 years ago, and men are yet found who pretend to accept this heathen blasphemy, is presumption in the extreme. The ice barriers which constitute the Earth's circumference extend for some 30,000 or 32,000 miles, but present no opening large enough for the passage of a seal or walrus. No alternation of long days, as in the Arctic region, but the months of May, June, and July are
Strange, that
enshrouded
is.
in one long, dreary night. The snow never thaws, and the crash of the falling icebergs appalls the stoutest hearts. Therefore, unless any expeditions to these regions is conducted with peculiar caution and intelligence, it would very shortly end in discomfiture and dismay to all concerned. And if anything is attempted beyond the inquiry whether there is any southeast or southwest passage, no possible result can follow than loss and discredit to the promoters, and cruel suffering to the parties engaged.
Hold on. Coming. I hear you. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Don't mind the thunder. You're just in time. How's your night?
Doing well, man. Just woke up like an hour ago.
Just an hour ago?
Yep.
Oh, I was just having fun reviewing some things. How long you been watching?
Probably about 15 minutes.
So you got some anus and stuff, huh?
I'm enjoying the Antarctica stuff, man. I love that.
Yeah. So that was James Ross Clark's expedition and his three captains. I think they sent down there to find the South Pole, and they never could. But
Yep.
yeah, they still claim there is one. That's why I'm going to go kind of looking for that too. I want to see the magnetic South Pole.
Is there a magnetic South Pole?
They claim there is. But I've looked into it. It moves a lot. So does the North Magnetic Pole too. According
Yeah, I
to
know
their,
the north moves like 15 degrees or whatever.
That's what they say, dude. I've known
I,
people in the military who've actually done mapping work and cartography, and they say it changes, but it doesn't seem to change unless they tell you it changes. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like, yeah,
Well, when I was in ROTC, I did uh you know navigational type training, and
yeah.
they said it moved, but
Mhm.
I don't actually know that it does.
I don't know how you would do any kind of mapping with a changing center point and have a decent map. I don't think they do have any decent maps to speak of. I've looked into all the planispheres before and a couple of the old so-called maps, and none of them seem to be exactly what they should be. You know what I mean?
And also, I think as the sun moves from the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn,
Yeah,
maybe that may have an effect on it.
yeah. If the phenomenon's that great, I believe that the old myth of Mount Meru may have a lot to do with it. And uh, I have like pure lodestone, like out of the ground. I think that may be at the center of it. It works really good with a compass.
Huh.
Yeah, I can demonstrate it. I've done it for I have a piece of lodestone in my hand right now. Here, I'll show you.
Oh, cool.
You ever seen lodestone before?
Um,
Sorry,
Possibly, but not to my knowledge.
it's just basically a black stone like this. See it?
Yeah.
You can buy it. You can order it out if you go online. It costs a good bit though. For that, about 2 or 3 of these, it's about $50.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I could take my compass, but I had to dig it out. But it works better than a magnet does to my compass. And if they didn't magnetize the compass needles, it works just fine like it is with just a regular needle, a
Huh.
copper brass needle. Yeah. That's the way I think the original compasses were. They were just needles in floating. So they float a needle and point north with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen where they've taken, yeah, just like a needle and hung it on the string.
Hmm. Yeah, works. They say mercury works too for a compass. You can just get a pan of mercury and you can get a level with it, but you can float things in it and it'll point north better than it does in water.
Huh.
Hmm. That's the way the old sailors used to do it. So what are you up to tonight? Anything in particular?
Oh man, just chilling.
It's
Just thought
daytime
I'd.
or nighttime where you are right now. Oh, you're in Georgia, so it's
Yeah,
you're,
yeah, I'm
you're,
in Georgia. Yeah,
you're just now getting up. It's like early morning, right?
yeah, it's 4 a.m. or 4:05 actually.
Nice. It's 2 here in Denver.
Nice.
No, it's actually 2:05 to be exact.
Yeah, this is actually what time I normally get up in the morning and normally go to work, but we have no work today. So
Oh, nice. Yeah, they cut back my hours for the winter. That's what they're telling me, but I think they're trying to get me to quit.
Hmm.
Well, they'll cut your hours trimming back, and you're like, I can't afford to live like this, and like I got to go look for another job. So you quit and get another job, and they don't have to pay unemployment insurance.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I can understand that. Today we're actually just preparing for a job on Monday. We're starting up a big job on Monday. So
What do you do?
I work construction. Uh,
Nice job.
I'm actually kind of a maintenance contractor at Lockheed Martin.
Oh, you told me that. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I'm like a welder, a framer. You know, we do concrete work, electrical work, and I'm pretty much go across the board doing all of it, like a jack of all trades type.
Nice. You're like jack of all trades. There's a guy on here. He been playing with me in flats for a little while. It's called Jack of All Trades. He's a troll.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Not really. You should see some of the hit pieces he does. Look him up. He
Oh
makes
wait,
me.
you saying he's like a troll?
He's a troll, dude. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He stole his name from the series Jack of All Trades that Bruce, what's his name? What's that guy's name? Did the Army of
Oh.
Darkness? Yeah,
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. Yep.
Yep.
He calls us a bunch of derps, is what he likes to call us. We derp along. We derp. Derp. What is a derp? I have no idea. It's an acronym for something. I'm gonna be getting out of here soon. I've been all by
Okay.
myself for the last hour and a half. You got anything
Yeah,
you want to look at by chance?
Oh no. I was just hopping on just to give you some company.
Nice. Appreciate it. I couldn't get a hold of Ryan tonight. I tried earlier. I think he's busy. It's Friday, and we never really do a lot on Friday. There's usually a lot of people have a lot of streams going, but nobody's doing anything right now in our group. So, and I actually called Brenda a bitch tonight. She came over to Mikey's, and I tried to hop on there and try to show him how I could debunk his southern star trails in general. They go east to west. That's the way they travel.
Yeah.
Around a circular point. He's like, no, when you're down here, it goes the opposite direction. Like, no, dude, you're looking in the opposite direction. It's your reference. You turned around.
You know, that's one thing that really fucking gets me when people say when you go to the south, it moves in the opposite direction. No, it is. It's just east to west. It
Yeah.
does not move in the opposite direction. It moves in the same direction.
Now I know why people go bald, man. When people, it's like when they pull your hair out. You can show them all day long and explain it to them, and they're still going to argue with you. Like,
Yeah, but it doesn't move in the opposite direction.
no, the
It
sun
does
doesn't
not.
rise in the same different.
It doesn't come up from the west and go to the east all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's like why
It's-
would even on a ball that
No.
doesn't even make sense.
No, the ball spins in the same direction all the
Yeah.
time.
It's
don't-
like what's that argument? There is no
I don't-
argument there.
Don't know, but the drunken guy, the drunken debunker, was in there too, and he took a soccer ball and he drew a star on it, and like he's going to demonstrate how. I'm like, no, stop. Yeah. And come to find out, he's mad at flat earthers because one of the instructors at the Boys and Girls Club of America approached his kids and told them about flat Earth. He got mad and he said, "That's so stupid. I'm going on a campaign." So he's basically got it out for us too. I don't know what we did. It's just it's a topic. It's an idea. Listen to it. You can weigh it out for yourself. If you're not slow, you'll get it. You know,
Yeah.
it's just that simple.
Think,
And I don't get. It's a religion, dude. It really is. The ball has got to be a religion. I've seen different cosmologies in our arena, and nobody's like, "This is the way it is." You know, like, "Urgh." Nobody knows exactly what the celestials are. People have their own basic idea of what they are, and I'm not mad about that. You know, what
Yeah.
I'm mad about is what you're actually telling me that's physically impossible. That's what I'm mad about. The,
Yep.
the the ball hanging in nothing in the middle of nowhere, floating around from a big bang that happened so many billions of years ago that nobody can prove jack shit, and everything's so far away that you can't measure it properly. So it's like impossible. That's the part that drives me mad.
And the
It's-
fact that navigation, I mean, like navies, uh anyone that like did like sailing, anything like back in the day, they're
Yeah,
using the same stars that we use today to pinpoint where they're at.
Yeah, they didn't change.
It never changed. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's
Well, there's
exactly the same.
people that want to marry two of these things together, and it's like Danny Faulkner and people like him. You know who Danny Faulkner is, right?
Yeah, I'm actually friends with him. Yeah.
You know him personally?
Oh, maybe we're talking about two different. Daniel
Answers in-
Faulkner, the guy that does
Answers-
he does the what are those called? Earthships.
No, I don't think
Or
so.
Earth, the where they dig into the ground and build the housing.
Different guy. Danny
Okay.
Faulkner is a cosmologist who actually is a Christian. I put that in quotes if you didn't get that.
Oh,
pause.
okay. Oh, wait, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Answers in
okay,
Genesis,
Yeah. That.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Danny Faulkner I'm talking about. He wants to keep the Greek mythology buried into cosmology, and he's trying to make it a Christian thing. It has nothing to do with Christianity at all. So
No, if you read your Bible, I mean, it's
Yeah.
obvious. I mean,
can't
I don't
say anything
understand.
else.
I don't understand how anyone who calls himself a Christian can read their Bible and not understand this. That
Yeah, it's just plain as
like
day.
what's his name who just did the final experiment guy?
Will,
Yeah, Will Duffy. Yeah.
beautiful guy. I've met him a couple of times.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
When
yeah,
he first started
you
this.
went to his church, right?
Yeah, I went to his church.
Yeah.
Talked to him.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
I mean, how does he say that the Bible explains the Earth being a globe?
Well, he said God could have made it into a globe after the flood. Basically, is what he's saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
what kind of
firmament-
sense does that make?
None at all. Why would he change the Earth he made?
He wouldn't.
I have no idea. No. He didn't read. He interpreted it way out of context. And his pastor before him, what was his name? Can't remember that guy's name.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
He had it out for flat earthers too. He had to have a space daddy, you know, a
Yeah.
space guide of some sort. And somehow it ties in the Benet Ramsey kid and her trial and the people that were accused of murder.
Yeah, man, that's some weird stuff. That's something I'm just now like looking into. The
Yeah, it's
John
weird.
Benet Ramsey case. That's some
I don't
weird
know how
stuff.
I don't
And
know
then
how
that
he's
guy,
connected
that guy that like confessed, and
Yeah.
then they found out like through like DNA evidence that like he wasn't even around.
Yeah,
Like
weird, huh?
like he was just doing it. Like he confessed to get attention. Why would you confess to that kind of a brutal?
Don't know, dude. And then some people now are saying that she's still alive. It's this actress, or whatever. You've heard that crap, right?
Yeah. I mean, and it could be. I mean, I don't know. Like that.
Me
That's the
neither.
thing. Stuff like that. I just. How would anybody know?
How do you tie it into the flat Earth?
Unless you're firsthand. Unless you're firsthand right there with those people.
Yeah.
You don't
I wasn't-
actually.
I wasn't involved in any of that stuff, man. I don't know how
Yeah.
it even got brought into this, and I don't know the connection to Bob Enyart or anything to do with
Yeah,
James
Bob
Green
Enyart.
Band.
That was the guy. Yeah.
All I know is that he said he wanted to put all flat earthers on a rocket and shoot them to space. I heard him quote that a couple of times, and he put a lot of money and effort in trying to prove his globe in time. So I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Well,
at
that's
all.
the thing. You know, God's so great. He could create the universe.
Yeah, but I think he created what we see right now.
No, I'm just saying that's what they said.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm going to end it out here. It's been
All
an
right,
hour
brother.
40. Yeah, nice to see you, Matt. You were over on
Hey,
somebody
it's good
else's
to see you.
show, weren't you?
What's that?
Tonight. You were over on somebody else's show yesterday, weren't you?
A
Not a bumped
couple
into
nights ago, I was on a Sobs.
Okay, yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's where I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Saab does good shows. He can handle people quite well.
Yeah, man, I love that guy. He's
Yeah.
he seems to be like a really really good dude. I love his like his no bullshit like
Yeah.
kind of
Don't trust.
attitude.
Don't
Like
trust it. Don't trust any of these bastards. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
But
have a
all right,
reason
brother.
to. Okay.
Well, you have a
All right,
good
I'm-
night, man. It was good
You too.
good talking to you and hopping on here. Thanks for
And
having me.
I'm always gonna play a song out like I always do.
All right, bro.
That's how I do. I guess I get in the habit of doing it. I don't mind it, and the guys like it. I guess I haven't got any complaints yet. The only complaints I've got are out of YouTube.
Yeah.
They don't like me playing music that's copyrighted, I guess. Oh well. They'll have to deal with it later. Oh,
Yeah.
good night.
All right.
You got
Have a
anything
good
else
night,
to
brother.
say to them? Oh, you too, man.
No, man.
All right.
Yeah, just good to see everybody. Everybody in the chat, hit those likes. Much love to everybody.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Asleep in
Night, guys. It was fun while it lasted. Down to 5 of us. Jeez.